Hello and welcome to Resilient Voices, 10-minute stories of newfound heroes. And today's hero is the wonderful Anne Iarchy. Hi, Anne.
Hey, Brenda.
Thanks for taking time out to come and have a chat with us today and share your genius with the world on resilience. So before we do that, would you like to introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Okay, sure. So I'm Anne Iarchy. I'm a weight loss and healthy lifestyle coach. I help busy people regain control of what they think, eat, and do. It's all good and well to, struggle with your weight, but actually, when you look at it in a holistic way, it goes much deeper than just what you eat and how much you exercise. So we absolutely have to look at our habits, at our mindset, at our sleep, stress, the whole lifestyle in general to get to where we want to get. So over the past 11 and something years, I've developed a 5-step system, which I outline in my book, 5 Simple Steps to Releasing the Real You, where I take people who have been struggling for quite a while, I would say, to really look deep down on why they do what they do and how they can make the changes that they need to make to achieve long-term results and not just the results that we generally get when we go on a diet, which is very short-lived.
Yeah. You're right. It is about that whole changing mindset and changing habits and looking at your life differently. So this book and the story is all about resilience. But before we get into the resilience of last year, can you share with us a story of resilience that you always think about when you think of that bounce back ability? What's been the one thing that you thought, yeah, I've had that challenge and I've pulled through the other side? And of course, we know there's lots of resilience in that. What would that story be, Anne, for you?
I think putting last year aside, there's probably been quite a few instances where I'm a person that generally jump into things. I'm a person that whenever an opportunity comes along, I just say yes, even without thinking. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not so great. It generally comes that I make a plan a bit later on when I get stuck in one way or another. And then sometimes it has led, over the years to some good stuff and some really bad stuff as well. It hasn't stopped me, though, from saying yes to opportunities, which is great. But at the same time, sometimes I would say, think a little bit before saying yes to stuff. But I think if you look at successful people, they always say, just say yes to everything and then think about how to make it happen. So
Mr. Virgin's one of those. He says, say yes and then figure out the how later, Richard Branson.
Yeah. And it is true. And as long as you're aware that sometimes it takes you to places where you don't want to be, and then you have to think on how to get out of there. And that's kind of a good way to live life, I would say.
I tell you, what I would like you to say is, now you had a challenge. I love this challenge, and I want you to just sort of say a few sentences about how you use your resilience to overcome it. And that is, you are a recovering Haribo addict. I just love that. So tell us about how you overcame that challenge.
It's still a challenge today, to be honest, because if you tell me or you put me in front of Haribos, my eyes just go, my senses go crazy. The way I got over that challenge really is the understanding of how it affects me and what it does to me. So the fact that when I do have some Haribos, I don't sleep at night, which then the next day means that I don't have the energy to do what I want to do, and my day goes all the way pear-shaped. The fact that it messes up my digestive system, so the next day I have a tummy ache, I get my headaches again that I used to have. So it's the awareness, I would say, of how it affects me that helps me deal with it. But that I suspect, I don't know, but anyone that has some kind of addiction, it just doesn't go away. You just need to be aware of it and be aware of how it affects you, and then making a choice of, is it really worth it?
Yeah. So coming back every time by making a healthy and a good choice that's in your favor. So let's look to last year, because this is what the book's all about. You know, this is a giving back book, and all the proceeds are going to the NHS, and gratitude for everything that they've done. And it's my giving back. I like to do a charitable project each year. So can you share with us a little bit, not going into your story that's in the book, but a little bit about the challenge you faced and how resilience helped you get through 2020?
Sure. So without getting into the story, because I was at a stage in my business where lots of things was going to change. So I was changing my focus a little bit. I had a big event coming up. I was all prepared to make 2020 a very different year. And obviously COVID happened, and I just initially didn't really know how to cope with it. And I think lots of us had some times where, you know, at least in April, where we had loads of ups and downs emotionally. And when I realized that so much of what I had planned wasn't going to happen, I just had to quickly think of, okay, what else can I do? And again, as I said at the beginning, look at opportunities that were out there, because no matter what happens, there are lots of opportunities in front of all of us. And it's just about calming down a little bit and being open and just take the opportunities, even though they were different to what I had planned. But actually they're leading me, or they led me to lots of things that I wouldn't have done if I had just followed the plan that I had set out at the beginning of the year. So it's really about, once you get over that, you know, panic, if I can say that way, really looking at the opportunities that are rising.
I know. And you know, you're a very positive person with a great positive mindset, and obviously the work you do is all around that, you know. And I know here at BBP we've gained because we're working together now, and it's just tremendous, and it's great. And you know, that's why I asked you to be part of Resilient Voices, because you're such a resilient, positive person, and it says sharing positive vibes, and that's what you do everywhere you go. It just oozes out of you. And so it was easy for me to ask you to be in it. So why did you say yes anyway?
Like anything, you asked, I said yes. It was an opportunity. It was an opportunity. So yeah, no, I'm all about jumping onto opportunities.
That's right. You said that
because at the beginning. You just don't know where they can lead you, to be honest.
Exactly.
And it might not be what you had planned initially, but maybe you end up in a much better place.
As I say, that you're part of Resilient Voices. There are amazing newfound heroes in this book. So what lasting words of advice would you give to someone to help them dig deep and find their resilience?
First of all, I'd say surround yourself with positive people. I think that's so important. People that inspire you, people that will support you no matter what. And as I already said a few times, open your eyes to opportunities and grab them. Look at everything you can do. And I say that to my clients as well, when it comes to, you know, when we think of diets, we think of all the stuff we can't have. Make a list of all the things that you can do, because that's a much better way than looking at the negative, which doesn't help us move forward, really. And it might be things that you've never done before, that scares you or whatever. Just go for it. And as you said, you know, very clearly earlier, is just figure it out afterwards, because it just happens.
It does.
You know, it might feel overwhelming when you say yes, but things will be there to help you make it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
absolutely. Well, Anne, thank you very much for joining us for this 10-minute stories of newfound heroes, and you're definitely one. And I wish you well with everything that you're doing, and I'm excited to see what's unfolding before our very eyes across social media. And so, Anne, thank you very much for joining us today. And everybody else, remember, be brilliant and much love. Until the next time, this is Brenda saying, to the pip.